everybody, and welcome back to the Girly Girl Bookworm. So today I have my March TBR video for you. I'm really excited about March because I feel like it's going to be fantastic. It is going to be filled with lots of different reads than I'm used to, so let's just dive in. So I'm actually filming this as of February 15th, so I don't fully know like all my buddy read situations, but I wanted to update you just in general about some of my plans. So I do have my buddy read planned already with Kendra from Kendra Loves Books, and if you didn't know, every month we pick a book to read together and we host a chat over on Instagram. So if you are ever interested in joining us, please leave your handle down below and I could always add you to the next month's chat. So this month we are going to be talking about 50 Words for Rain by Asha Lemmy. And we're both super intimidated by this book in the sense that, like, we both want to read this. We both purchased it this month, but we know that it's going to be a very tough read. So I wouldn't expect a light read out of this one. This is a historical fiction novel following a young girl, and I believe she's half Asian. She's half Japanese, half Black. And that has kind of caused issues for her because she has to go live with her grandmother, and her grandmother treats her very poorly. So if you are going into this one with us, just know that it's a very dark read. And I feel like if we didn't pick it as our book club book, I think it would probably set my shelf a little bit too long just because I'm very scared that this is going to break me. But I'm really excited to read it nonetheless. So yeah, I'm really hoping that this one turns out good for us. Leellen from Mama Leellen's Book Nook, her YouTube channel and Instagram will be linked down below, as well as Kendra's. She obviously at this point hasn't chosen what we're reading next month. I'm currently kind of on a no-buy, and it's not just books. I'm like on a no-buy for life, just because we're trying to test different things out with our budgeting. So I'm on a no-buy right now. So, and I'm definitely picking up any book of the month choice she makes, possibly because of the fact that like I'm part of her book club thing, so I'm definitely part of that, so I can definitely still do book of the month. But if she picks something else, I don't know if I will be reading it this month just because I'm trying to be really, really good. So we'll see what those end up being. And yeah. So that's that. That's all the buddy reads that I know of as of right now, but obviously things can change. But it's also middle grade March, and I have never participated in middle grade March. As much as I read middle grade with my students, I never really owned it on my shelves, but this year I do. So this is hosted by Katie from Life Between Words and Krista from Krista and Books and Jams. I don't remember if there's any extra hosts, but I know those two are the two that originally started this readathon. So my plan is to kind of read a middle grade like every other book, because I know that middle grade can get a little daunting for me just because it's not the usual for me. But I have 5 possibilities listed that I'm going to share with you. And then I'm really close with my English as a second language teacher in my building, and she literally handed me a bag full of middle grade novels that she wants me to see if we can fit it into our classrooms, because we're trying to incorporate all these diverse books, and she doesn't have time to read all of them, but she knows I like to read, so she just literally handed me like this giant bag and was like, read these when you can. And I've had them for a little bit and I haven't read any. So I think my goal is to read the 5 possibilities, but also scatter some of those in as like my every other read. But these are my 5 middle grade possibilities. These are just also my 5 possibilities like I've been doing with my TBRs lately. So these are ones that I'm hoping to get to this month. The very first one is called Until Tomorrow, Mr. Marsworth by Sheila O'Connor. And I first heard of this book on Katie from Life Between Words. She reviewed this, and it's apparently an epistolary novel, which means that it is told in letter form between this little girl and Mr. Marsworth, and I believe it takes place around Vietnam War, and I think her brother is off fighting the war, and she's having all types of conversations about peace and protests and things like that. So I'm excited to see what this one ends up being like, because I've heard nothing but phenomenal things about this one, so hopefully I can fit this one in, and it should be easy if it's written in letter form. Then I also have Front Desk by Kelly Yang. I have the first 2 books in the series. I think the third one comes out very soon. And this is about a girl who I believe is, her family owns this hotel. I believe that they are either immigrants or, I'm not positive, because it does start saying my parents told me that America would be this amazing place. So I'm assuming that they are immigrants, but I just love this cover. It seems like so much fun. I'm sure she's going to come across a whole variety of different types of people, and I'm excited to see what this one's going to be like, because I've heard, again, nothing but phenomenal things about this one. Then I have A Good Kind of Trouble by Lisa Moore Ramey. I purchased this one again through Scholastic like I bought the other one, because again I had been seeing really great things over on Instagram about this one. Somebody had hosted a read along and I didn't get it in time to participate, but they said it was really good, and it's about a girl and she kind of just follows the rules. She doesn't really get involved in anything. And one day her sister gets involved in the Black Lives Matter movement, and she starts realizing that maybe there are some rules that are meant to be broken. So I'm interested to see what that means. I believe she starts wearing this armband to school, and I think it's obviously going to cause some problems for her. So I'm excited to see what this one is like. And then this one has been on my shelf for way too long because I've been dying to read it, but I also know it's going to hurt me, so I've been kind of slightly putting it off, and that is Genesis Begins Again by Alicia D. Williams. I first heard about this on Ashley's channel from the Bookish Realm, and when she talked about this, I knew I instantly wanted to read it, but it also scares the living daylights out of me. It's about this girl, and she says that there's 6 reasons why she doesn't like herself. And she keeps a list. And some of them are that her family is always being put out of their house. Her dad has a gambling problem. She knows that this is all her fault, and it's because she's too black. And I believe that at one point she even tries to lighten her skin, which I'm just, that scene alone I know is going to get me, which I think, again, is why I've been kind of putting it off. But obviously it's got the Newbery Honor Award. It's got the Coretta Scott King Award. It was a finalist for the William C. Morris Debut Award. So it's definitely going to be a good one. I'm just kind of slightly scared of it, but I know it's going to be fantastic. And then my last possibility for the month is The Girl Who Drank the Moon by Kelly Barnhill. I bought this book for my birthday. My birthday was in October, and I still haven't read it yet. But this one also sounds fantastic. I've seen amazing things. I think Krista's read it. I believe Katie's read it. Everybody's read it. And it's about this world where the community believes that there's a witch in the woods that they kind of have to like pay homage to, so that way she'll leave them alone. So they keep like offering her a baby, and normally she like takes care of the baby and she like goes and gives it to another community and like gives it a family because she has no idea why they keep leaving her babies. And one day she gets this baby on her doorstep and she accidentally gives it moon dust, and it makes this little girl kind of have powers, and now the witch decides to kind of raise her as her own, and it just sounds really interesting. So I'm excited to try this one. So like I said, there's definitely more books that I want to read in the month of March. I know Candy Steiner's book comes out in 3 days. Brittany C. Cherry's book comes out in 3 days, which I'm going to try to fit into February. And if it doesn't, it's going to get pushed to March. So there's definitely more books that are going to be read in March. But those are the 6 that I have on my radar right now that I feel like are must-reads for March. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Let me know what you plan on reading in March, and I will see you guys in a little bit. Bye, everybody.